Okay, shalom, my little friends. Alright, so I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to go through, I'm going to flip through this stuff so that y'all can pause it and look through yourself. But I just want you to see one. This is Zeus. This is Zeus. This come off of Enter the Stars. And he had done some research and stuff on Notre Dame, which a picture in a carving in Notre Dame on one of the posts had Cernunnos on it. I believe that I've showed that, and come to find out. The stone pillar is an important monument, Gallo-Roman region, lower release, and label named several Roman deities such as Jupiter, Vulcan, and the Vulcan, the Vulcan symbol, Star Trek, along with Cernunnos can be read clearly at the 18th century. Jupiter, also known as Jove, was the false god of the sky and thunder and the king of the false gods of ancient Roman religion and mythology. Jupiter was the chief deity of the Roman state religion throughout the Republican and imperial eras until Christianity became the dominant religion of the empire. Okay, so let's not go there yet. Yeah, no, I want y'all to see this one. Amun, originally an Ethiopian of Libyan divinity whose worship subsequently spread all over Egypt, a part of the northern coast of Africa, and many parts of Greece. The real Egyptian name was Amun or Amun. The Greeks called him Zeus Amun. The Romans called him Jupiter Amun, and the Hebrews Amun. Okay, so we see that Zeus, Jupiter, Amun, Amun, they're the same thing. Okay. Now, the other day, a lot of y'all ain't gonna like this, but you can, whatever, it doesn't matter. Rich from Boston had the big sieve on, and he was showing that in the state capitol, the United States of America, they have these men's faces all over this the building, or I'm not really sure, it might even be in the doorway of the state capitol. Either way, this is there, and it's called the lawgivers. Every head is turned except for this specific one, who is Moses. He is called Moses, and this is Moses. All right, but if you will notice on Moses, he has horns. See the horns? Okay, now this is supposedly Moses that Michelangelo had built, carved, whatever. So this is a Michelangelo Moses. But do you see the horns? Now, if you go right here, many ancient images depict Jupiter Amun under the figure of a ram, who on medals and coins he appears in human shape with the ram horns growing out beneath his ears. This is Jupiter. Okay, now we're not going to do that yet. Cernunnos. Oh yeah, I was just going to go through this really quick so that y'all could, I wonder if my face would go right there and just show stuff. Okay, just talking about Cernunnos, things about him. But anyway, lying in the middle of the brain is a part of the temporal lobe called the Amun's horn, or the wait, let's stop. The other day, I was reading from something. It was about the Illuminati cube or whatever, and I'd read things in the parentheses. I gotta stop reading stuff in the parentheses because sometimes that's the ones that tell you, like who you can reference to go to. Some of the stuff that I read off that I screenshot, it's from all this New Age occult stuff, because I want you to see what I do on this channel is what Yahushua Jesus through me does is we read this stuff, and then I show you, not I, but Jesus shows you what the deception is, how they're deceiving, or maybe Jesus will show you, we'll talk about how, we're not supposed to think this way or be this way. It's more of showing you the deception of the New Age, so to unlock our minds from this New Age teaching of this scrambledness that they have done through social media and televisions and radios, Okay, so, but this is what scientists actually believe. This is what they believe, and so this is why we're reading this. Or the hippocampus. In neuroanatomy, Amun's horn is a metaphor that relates to the false gods and the brain. Amun's horn is the hidden creator, false hidden creator, false king of the false gods, and the false lord of the thrones of the world. Amun is the hidden one, the false lord of the visible and the invisible worlds. He was the mysterious soul of the universe which reveals itself in light. The false Amun god, or the false god Amun, or Amun in ancient times, was usually depicted as a ram with curved horns. We just read that. A man with a ram's head, or a man with two upright plums as a headpiece. The name Cornuamus, Amun's horn, or the hippocampus, is a major component in the brains of humans, where we find the clues and the secret mysteries that lie deep within each one of us, that we too can access with our own horns in prayer, sentence meditation, psychedelics, and paranormal visions. Now that's interesting, because David does pray for the Lord Yahuwah to exalt his horn, and our Father does bring up the horn when he's speaking of power. So this is interesting. All humans have Amun's horn, which is two hippocampi, one in each side of the brain, and it is part of the cerebral cortex, and in primates is located in the middle temporal lobe underneath the cortical surface, and it contains two main interlocking parts, Amun's horn and the gyrus, Amun's horn, or the hippocampus, that plays one of the most important roles in the consolidation of information from short-term memory to long-term memory and spatial navigation. The Latin hippocampus is from ancient Greek, from hippos, horse, and campus, sea monster. Interesting. Isn't that what Lucifer's called, that old dragon, the serpent? Anyway, when we damage our Amun's horn, we damage the false god, and we humans will often sink into severe depression. In addition, it will be difficult for us to form new memories, and this will often also affect memories formed before the damage. Hence, it will become impossible for you to know thyself or evolve from soul without memory of who you are or where in past lives. See, there's just so much, with this memory and Amun's horn, and things are being changed by the Mandela effect, the quantum pollution. Just, dude. And they got this machine and on this land of France, and the ruler of France right now said he was going to rule like the false god Jupiter, and that's what this horn is named after. It has to do with our memories. Just, dude, Amun's horn has special significance to our ancestors. In Egyptian mythology, the head and the horn of the ram were symbolic of activity and creative energy. This creative energy, this was signified in false gods under such names as Amun-Ba, or Ra, and Jupiter Amun. Jupiter equated with the Egyptian deity Amun after the Roman conquest of Egypt. The false god Jupiter could assume the form of a ram, in which his name was Jupiter Amun. Jupiter is the false father of the day, and as mentioned above, Amun is the false lord of the thrones and the hidden one. Many ancient images depict Jupiter Amun under the figure of a ram, or on medals and coins he appears in human shape with ram's horns growing out beneath his ears. They are the horns of Jupiter Amun, the same symbol which is later to appear again as the horns of the corners of the Hebrew altar. The Moses of Michelangelo is also shown with horns. Could it be that they were sending us a message with these images, and that the Amun's horns is one of the most important areas of our brain, in our evolution. And reincarnation, nowhere. There is no reincarnation helping us recall past lives. No, thank you. My intuition tells me yes. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. Horned false gods and false goddesses, kings and emperors is a common theme you will find all through the history of the world. The horns signify what is known as our Amun's horn, and or hippocampus, which is our brain's memory processing unit. These horns I have written about extensively before. Okay. Cernunnos, the horn pan of the Celtics. The ancient Celtics Druids in the West worshipped a horned false god who went by the name Cernunnos. Research on history and science behind our true third eye, which I explained is known by the scientific name of hippocampus or Amun's horn. This is the place in our brains that modern scientists have determined where we process all new and old memories. It has also been found to be what we can call the place of intuition, where we intuitively process our thoughts through our blood, then into our brain as a GPS system for the soul, a popular belief amongst the New Age movement. Alternative research crowd is that the pineal gland is our third eye, and it is sometimes called our pineal eye. But if you truly study the science of the brain, you will find that the pineal gland has absolutely nothing to do with our memories, intuition, or enlightenment. Let me first state that I'm well aware the pineal gland plays an important part in our brain, that we need to produce hormones such as melatonin and serotonin that have important endocrine functions. Without the pineal gland, we wouldn't be able to sleep, because melatonin controls the daily and night. Okay. Okay. I knew that I had done something a little different. So science. Oh, I did it again. Okay, I'm sorry. I do this sometimes. First, okay, I decided I wasn't even going to read that last part. I'm so funny. This subject of our blood and DNA. Okay. This subject of our blood and DNA. So I guess, like, erase some of that stuff I just read to you. Maybe not. I mean, some of y'all might not have understood what was going on with the pineal gland and what it's for. Okay. This subject of our blood and DNA has a storage house of our past memories I have written about before in articles. In these articles, I put forth scientific research showing that Israeli scientists are actually making computers which operate on DNA enzyme. Now, how about the fact that they are taking fish like the salmon and using its scales DNA to make a computer storage device? What? Salmon DNA. Scientists from National University in Taiwan and Institute of Technology in Germany have created a write once, read many times worm memory device that combines electrodes, silver nanoparticles, and salmon DNA. While the current device is simply a proof of concept model, the researchers have stated that DNA could turn out to be less a expensive alternative to traditional inorganic materials such as silicon. The device is made up of the thin film of salmon DNA that has been impregnated with silver atoms, then sandwiched between two electrodes. When UV light is shown onto the system, the atoms cluster together into nanoparticles. So the silver does something to them. They're using silver with magic, using it with DNA of creepy crawly things. It is no significant or scientific secret that our physical appearance and many of our traits are determined by the combination of DNA from both our father and mother. Recent research has also proven that many genetic disorders and scientific diseases that we human may suffer from are actually inherited from our ancestors. Therefore, in this year, 2012, we can say without a scientific doubt that the way we look, act, feel, live, and even how we naturally die can be mostly attributed to the blood that runs through our veins. Everything from our physical traits or abilities, such as our large head, small ears, wide nose, and athletic skills, comes mainly from our DNA. as does your intellectual abilities, like your IQ, musical talents, and ability to reason, and even your emotional and psychological makeup is determined by DNA. In the case of the eugenics, that's interesting. What was that word? Oh, dude, look at that. The eugenics and the word for concordance G2105 is Eudia, EUDIA. Oh, there's no coincidence. That's something. I know that's not. I know that the G should be a D right there, but dude, I'm just saying. All right. Amun, Amun, or Amen is the hidden one, who is the king, the false king of the false gods, and the false lord of thrones, of the visible and invisible worlds. The creator false god, who was the mysterious soul of the universe, which reveals itself in light. Amun is the false light, false creator, builder and grand architect of the house and temple, Freemason, Kabbalists. Amun is the high ram, and those of you that are familiar with the Freemasonic allegories in history can relate Amun to the Hiram Abiff of Solomon's temple. That's so funny. The hidden one that's how our Father works. It's amazing. The hidden one, who is the false king of the false gods and the false lord of thrones, is not some false god you will find outside of yourself in the heavens or carved onto an idolatrous stone by the grand architect of the universe. Nor will you find this Grand Master inside a Freemasonic lodge. Au contraire, Solomon, this false god is hidden deep within you, and you must know thyself in order to find the mysterious creator false god, who is the hidden one, false king of false gods, and the false lord of... Anyway, I ain't even saying, because he ain't no creator or false, he ain't no god on my throne, this Freemasonic whatever. Woo! The throne where King Amun is located is Amun's horn, or the hippocampus, situated in your house, or what is more commonly called the head. See, in your house. The head. These Kabbalists, this is your house up here. This is your house, your abode. The brain, the head. In meditations, the hippocampus is what we humans use as a model of astral travel. In addition, I believe that the hippocampus stores past life experiences. There is no past life. There is no reincarnation. The Word of God speaks it over and over and over. I'm going to do another video on that. I'm seeing more people in chat bringing up reincarnation, thinking there are past lives. There is no past lives. It will make us as numerous as the stars and as the sands of the sea. No reincarnation. I'm sorry. No. Read the book of Ecclesiastes, small little 12 chapters, and let you know there is no reincarnation. More than once that little book tells you there is no reincarnation. The hippocampus is critical for the formation of new autobiographical and fact memories. Hence, this situation of our brain, or this section of our brain, is how we remember not only past events or locations, but also past lives, and the high priest of Jupiter, Amun, knew this. Dude, there's no coincidences. Okay. In the New Kingdom, Amun becomes successfully identified with all other Egyptian deities to the point of virtual monotheism, which was then attacked by means of the counter-monotheism of Atenism. Primarily the false god of wind, Amun, came to be identified with solar false god, besides the numerous other titles and aspects. As Amun-Ra, he was petitioned for mercy by those who believed suffering had come about as a result of their own or others' wrongdoings. And this is a picture, all these pictures of Amun, and they say Moses, and it's just interesting that they have taken Moses, they've defiled the things our Father has said through Moses. They've just defiled it. Amun-Ra, who hears the prayer, I decided I wasn't going to do that one, I remember that. It was in the Syossis of the temple of happened, whatever, when Alexander the Great became the son of Amun. The oasis was the seat of the temple of Amun, Zeus or Jupiter Amun. The picture to the right is a coin with Alexander the Great, where his Amun's horn can clearly be seen. Oh yeah, there it is. The connection to Amun or the hippocampus is made by Arthur relates Amun to a passage in the Gospel of John. That's all false stuff. Okay. Advances in research and application in 2012. Computers. Oh, I was trying to find out about the DNA. Oh, the Israeli DNA enzyme company that the Israelis were doing. And look, it was 2012. Actually, it was a few months before they found, or they say that they found the Higgs boson. I'm telling, there's something with this 2012 thing. Something. I'm telling you. World's first biological computer developed when? 2012. I've devised a computer that can perform 300. Okay. Amun original. Okay. We did that. And then here's pictures depicting that Amun and Jupiter and Cernunnos, all of them, they're the same junk. It's the same thing. Here is Cernunnos, Amun. And look, very interesting here. You see that hat? You see that little guy in his little outfit and stuff? Well, look what's at the capital of the United States of America. Look at these guys. Here's the same hat. There's your hat. And to me, that's the Frisian cap. There's your hat. There's another one down there at the bottom. The same hat. Looks like the Pope's hat, what the Pope wears. Dude, I'm just saying, this is who they worship. This is who they worship. And these are the lawgivers. And just so happens, the front head, the head that's turned facing us is called Moses. Okay? And it just so happens that the ninjas got horns. This Cernunnos, that's what his name is. It means the false horned god. And when Big Sid was doing this the other day, he said, that's Pan. I knew who that was as soon as I seen it. Pan, Cernunnos, Jupiter, Amun, Zeus. The same false god. Bam, here we have our worshipped false god. This is it. This is him. This is the main guy. This is it. Okay, so dude, let's just talk about this. If everything we see, America's hand is in it, just so happens that America's hand is in every bit of this, then that means that America has been deep in this in a very long time. This is in the capital of the United States of America. I'm just wondering, it's very possible that all these heads right here are pictures of fallen angels' faces on these heads. It's very possible. This is who we worship, They're going to put their images of who they worship because it resonates energy, it resonates power. There are no coincidences that big machine in Cern, Switzerland is on this land, that the land of France, that this false god was worshipped over and over and over. Constant worship. Constant killing and sacrificing and festivals to this false god, this horned false god. I'm going to find out that this has something to do with memories, that they say that this is in our brain, this horn, and that this is in our memories. See, it is. I'm sure that this hippocampus is in our brain. But what they've turned it into, it's defilement. What they've turned this into, making it look like and making it seem, it's defilement. But it has something to do with our short-term and long-term memory. And just so happens that words that are being changed on the in the Bible and in scripts of movies and shows and music and poems, and all these things are being changed, and it's messing with our memory. It's making us work with our memory. And this machine, this big machine, was built on land that's worship, major worship to this false god. And it just so happens that Israel, in 2012, a few months before this Higgs boson, apparently, whether the Higgs is what brought in the Mandela effect, the quantum pollution, or not, either way, there's still something going on with 2012. Just so happens that they started using the salmon DNA. Israel found connections with salmon DNA in memory. Dude, dude, we need to wake up. One, we need to see that America is gonna fall, right? But in Revelation, it tells us, what was it? Revelation 14:8, Revelation 17:10, and Revelation 18:2, and Revelation 7:16 are all the same concordance number when it comes to falling, light on, light. It has so much to do, with the rainbow, color, and data, sound. It sounds so weird that color and sound and light could all go together, but it does. That's how we get all this information, through these phones, through the television. That's how we're able to send faxes and text messages and stuff through the air where you don't even see it. That's how. It's by sound, light, and color. And just so happens that everything that they've been working with has to do with sound, light, and color. And it's messing with our memory. It has to do with memory. It's magic is what it is. It's sorcery is what it is. They're putting silver with salmon DNA to make memory chips. Or a computer that can hold memory. This is why we have artificial intelligence walking around and making their own computer chips. Because they literally have put live particles of creepy crawly things inside of these machines, shot up with silver. It's just the craziest thing. Like, who would ever thought this? But here we are. Here we are. Oh my goodness. Well, thank y'all so much for listening. And seriously, let's grasp and understand this is who they're worshiping. This is who they're worshiping. Their king and their false god. This is it. And you know what? Wait a minute. Before I get off this, I wanted to show y'all something. Last night when I was trying to record the television for the on Strangers, Perfect Strangers. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Look at this.
And that's revealing
How do I
it.
turn that sound down? Look at that.
For real.
Like something is pulsing, waving through our set.
My
Sending and
television
receiving signals.
did not.
Yeah. We can't even.
When I was looking at the television with my own eyes and my weirdo Opie that was beside me, it was blue. It was blue with the DVD on it, with the circle thing. It was blue. But as soon as I pushed record, it started doing this.
See it.
No.
That is very. And look at how it.
And it was pulsing.
Ding, 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 ding. Like whipples in water.
Dude. Now, Opie said something in here.
And that's revealing it.
For real.
Like something is pulsing, waving through our set. Sending and receiving signals.
Yeah. We can't even see it.
No.
And see, one more thing. I did a picture of the moon one night.
Well, y'all, look at the moon this evening.
Watch what it does.
Oh my goodness, did you just see that? I didn't do that. I didn't do that at all. What in the world just happened? Now that's a car coming up.
But the thing was pulsing. The moon was pulsing.
Watch this, y'all.
Through the phone. I didn't see that.
Look at that.
I didn't see
Why
it.
does it do that?
Through the screen.
It did it the last time like
I mean-
that too.
With my own eyes.
Look at that. Why is it freaking pulsating?
I
Butter.
just seen it with the screen. Now, this is the next morning. It's the moon.
Excuse me. I'm gonna record this as much as I can, even with vehicles going by. But the other night, I'm gonna have to post it. The moon was pulsing. Like right now,
See?
I can do all kinds of stuff, and that moon is not gonna change.
Okay. And then this. This was a different night. I kept going in and out. The moon didn't pulse. The moon didn't change. It didn't do nothing. But it just so happened on this night, I just put the
Watch
phone up
this,
to the
y'all.
moon, and it started
Look
flipping
at that.
pulsing. And
Why
it
does
through
it do
my screen, you know, and I was looking at the moon with my own eyes, and it wasn't doing that. It was a circle. It wasn't doing any of that. But as soon as I put the phone on there and recorded it, it was pulsing. Dude, I don't know what that is. Is it something that's coming through the phones, changing the phones, you know, or the pic? I don't know. Somebody, maybe one of y'all can explain it to me. But praise Jesus, I'm glad I got to show y'all that. I can get that off my phone now. All right. Well, I love y'all so much, and I really thank y'all so much for listening. Y'all are always truly a blessing to me. I wouldn't know what I'd do without y'all. Really, y'all are a blessing. Shalom.